Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Week 1 preview for the Buffalo Bills-Arizona Cardinals game. This is your host, Sean from Red, White, and Bills. Appreciate you guys coming in. The regular season football is finally here. We can stop talking about preseason and camp and who did this in camp and preseason and just get on the field and show what kind of team we are. And we're going to know probably within the first 6 weeks how good we truly are, coaching staff and players-wise, because we got a gauntlet coming up. And week 1, we got Arizona Cardinals, and yeah, they had the 4th overall pick last year, but they're going to be a lot better than what people are expecting them to be and what that record said last year. And you guys know how I do things, and if you're new, I'll explain it. For the pre-games, I don't just say, oh, the Bills are going to win, we're the best team ever, blah, blah, blah. I just say how we can win, some keys to victory, some key players, and what we could do to help our chances of winning. And it'd be nice to win every game, but you just never know. It's the NFL, so it's a week-to-week league. So without further ado, let's get it cracking. We got number one, you got to stop the run. And I'm so tired of having to say this constantly. But for this 8 years of McDermott, well, this will be the 8th year, but for the 7 years prior that we've had Coach McDermott, you could probably count on your hand how many times we actually did a good job stopping the run. And again, a couple of them were against Derrick Henry, which is incredible. But again, it's not consistent, and it gets us caught into some trouble when maybe it shouldn't. And you guys remember James Conner, he's not some slouch. He's a really good running back. He's not a top 5 running back, but he can put up numbers, and he's going to run hard on you, and he's going to run you over, and he's just going to try to get first downs and put the ball in the end zone. So definitely have to stop the run. And then obviously when you think about Kyler Murray finally being healthy, he's going to be able to run the football too and be a dynamic quarterback. And people forget Kyler Murray was in the MVP conversation that 1 year before he got hurt, and at one point they were 10-0, so which is the same year, I believe. So when he's healthy and playing well, he's a baller. So you got to be aware of that, which leads to the second key: keep Kyler in the pocket. We always hear Greg Rousseau is an elite run stopper. He's a great one of the best edge setters in the league. And I did a video on that showing to the contrary, but it's a big year for him. And, part of you want to get paid and you want to be remembered and looked at as one of the greats, be able to keep guys like Kyler Murray in the pocket so he can't scramble and make off-platform plays. And this is going to be a big week 1 matchup for you to step up in year 4 and not prove me wrong, because I do believe that he can be an elite player in this league, but validate what the people have been saying about him for the first 3 years, which, again, I wouldn't say he's elite or a great top 3 or top even 10 at anything, but prove that, because he has the potential to be that and to be a great player. And it starts with him. He's a young guy who, again, size, you can't coach that. Physical, strong, tough, got some good speed, got good arm length. He should be one of our best defenders on our team and most impactful. So let's see. And then for offense, for us, we got to establish the run ourselves and then be able to work through the middle of the field. They got pretty good safeties, highlighted by Budda Baker, who is just a vet, so a pro's pro, and you got to always pay attention where he's at. But again, if we can run the football, get some play action going, get some Dalton Kincaid, Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir in the middle, let them get the ball in space and do what they do with it. I'd like to see that. I hope we're not going to be a 60% run and plus, maybe even more offense. I like to be probably 60-40 pass run, but we'll see how it works. Every matchup is different, and the Arizona Cardinal defense, especially their front, is lacking. So we'll probably be able to manhandle the trenches, which I'll be watching, of course, because that's my thing that I like the most is trench play. But again, for the trenches, don't be, we dominated this week 1 matchup against the Cardinals, so we're good. It doesn't mean anything, because they don't have a great front for one, and you got to do it consistently. So hopefully they can keep it together. We can dominate the trenches and really do whatever we want offensively, but we got to see some key players on offense. Dalton Kincaid, there's been a lot of talk about everyone eats kind of mentality, but at the end of the day, Josh is going to find his number 1 guy that he prefers and pepper him with targets. And it's going to be the same, not 170 like Diggs had, but there's going to be a guy that's leaps and bounds above the rest as far as targets go. I think that will be Dalton Kincaid, and got to see his growth too. I mean, he had a fantastic rookie year, but how are you going to elevate your game in year 2? Because rookies have good years, once in a while, but it's all about how you do in the second and third year. So hopefully he makes some leaps and can put some touchdowns on the board and be that go-to guy for Josh. James Cook, again, another fantastic year last year, and he's going to have that, just carry that same workload again this year, but don't be dropping wide open touchdowns. There was probably 4 or 5 of them that were huge and could have had a better year for him and probably could have propelled Josh to an MVP if he caught those 5 touchdowns. And Curtis Samuel, a guy that we don't really know how he's going to be in our offense. I know we like to think like, oh, well, Brady had him before, but this is a whole new quarterback. This is a whole new offensive line. It's a brand new, team in general. So what Brady did with him in Carolina may be different than what we're going to do with him in Buffalo. We're going to defense. Like I said, Greg Rousseau, it's put up or shut up time for him. You have all the abilities and the talent and the physical prowess to be a great player. Now let's put it together in year 4 and be that guy who's a dominant run defender and pass rusher and enforcer. Because we don't just need good players. We need great players who are going to make a difference when it matters most. And DeMar Hamlin, a lot of people, it's really BS that they say it, but think he's only on the team because of the incident. And now that he was given the starting role only because they feel bad for him, which is really stupid. And I don't know why people have that take. It's a horrible take. But we forget that when he played that safety position for us, when Hyde went out after week 2, he finished with like 80-something tackles. He was great in run support. Yeah, he made a guy beat over the top a little bit on a couple coverages, but so does Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. They lost us a couple games last year, and you could tell their age was hitting them. So people get beat. D-backs get beat once in a while, and I'm confident in DeMar Hamlin to be a serviceable starter. And we got to remember too, people judge him off of last year. He had a heart attack. Like it's like any other. It's not like any other injury, but people give grace to people that tear their ACL and have to maybe take an extra year to come back. This dude had a little heart attack, had the nuts enough to go back and play football less than 6 months after that, played in the games, earned a position on the roster. But yeah, he didn't perform like he did the year previously, but maybe it took an extra year for him. It's a huge, major life-changing event. So if he didn't have that happen to him, maybe he would have been maybe one of the good safeties out there right now. We don't know. So I got confidence in him. And obviously Terrell Bernard, Milano's gone again. You got to be that young. You got the C on your chest. So put it out there on the field like you did last year. It's gonna be hard to top what he did last year, but I think he could do it. And I want to see at least what he did last year is be that vocal leader, be that guy all around the ball, make plays, interceptions, sacks, tackles for loss, forced fumbles. Just be around the ball like you were last year. And then lastly, it's not Keon Coleman's fault, but the unfair pressure was put on him since the beginning. And I think we saw Xavier Worthy get 2 touchdowns without even really being involved in the offense week 1. Keon Coleman knows that everyone's going to be watching like a hawk, not just us, but everybody out there. So, again, I feel bad for the kid. I've been saying that since we drafted him. It's not his fault that the situation happened how it did, but it's going to be watched. Him and Worthy could be watched like a hawk, till the end of the time. So hopefully he can be a good player. What's he going to be? We don't know. How they're going to use him, I don't know. But what do you guys think? Is he going to be a focal point in the offense right away? Is he going to be coming off the bench? Is he going to start? Is he going to have one catch a game for the first few weeks, or is he going to just absolutely ball out? Let's see. But let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys. I'm so excited that football's finally here, and we'll see where this football team goes. We'll take it a week at a time. I'll be putting out the offensive line film after each game, of course, and obviously do pre-games and post-games. We do also do pre-game on Nickel City Mafia on the Red, White, and Ruthless show, so go check that out. Subscribe if you're new. Appreciate it. Go Bills.